Hi everyone, Joshua here from Transition Breath. Today's video is about this thing called intention. When I work with people, whether in groups or in individual breathwork sessions, something that I support people to do is to establish an intention going into each and every breathwork session. Intention can be challenging for people to really understand what it is and how to come down to how to boil all the experiences of life and what brings you into a breathwork session into a single kind of statement. It is a really challenging thing to do, but intention is really helpful. It's helpful because it provides a direction. It allows you to acknowledge and understand what is the driving force that's bringing you into a healing practice. Like, why am I here? Like, what is causing me discomfort and dis-ease in life, and how can I consciously work with this and utilize an intention to guide me in a breathwork session. So I really like to think of an intention as an analogy is sort of, we go to a shopping center or a shopping mall or a supermarket, and we want to make something for dinner that night, but we don't have a shopping list. And you just walk into the supermarket and you just walk down every single aisle and you just randomly grab items. So of course, when you do that, you're going to still collect food to eat. But if you actually have a list, an intention for actually entering that building, and that's going to help really guide you in the supermarket, but it's also going to allow you to collect the right things that you need to then create your dinner. So intention setting in a breathwork session is really similar. So you can go into a breathwork session and not have an intention. Or the intention, this could be really, large, and just say, I just want to have an experience. You're going to have an experience, of course, but you can get more out of the experience. You can squeeze more out of the experience if you go in there with a very set idea of what you are looking for. A very set initial pathway forward. So it's super helpful. It is a directional element, but it also is something that you can keep checking in with and referencing at different points in the breathwork session as well. And sometimes intentions can loop. Like, you might come back again and again with the same intention, because sometimes things take a little bit longer to work through or to understand. Intentions, of course, are very loosely held in a breathwork session as well, because when we're doing breathwork, we're not operating from the thinking mind, we're operating from the subconscious. So the subconscious is going to do its own thing, and sometimes that thing that it's doing isn't necessarily going to align with your intention. But the more masterful that you become with an intention, the more you work with intention, the more that there will be an alignment between this conscious processing that takes place before a session with what takes place once you're in a breathwork session and you're operating from an altered state of consciousness. So yeah, intentions are very helpful. I think also as a society, we don't operate from intention all that much. Like, it's very easy to just kind of be in the flow of life and not really check in with yourself and like, what's my intention for doing this right now? What's my intention for getting up and going to work every single day? Not everybody has that conversation with ourselves. So when you come to a breathwork session, we're really about instilling this culture of intention. Why are you here? What are you looking for? What are you wanting to embrace? So they're the more kind of broad elements of setting an intention. I guess there are some kind of themes that people may may want to explore, and these will be around, I want to let go of something. There's something that just keeps happening in my life. There's this reaction, there's jealousy or an anger or a sadness. And I'm always dealing with this in my life, and I'm ready to let go of it. So your intention could be simply to let go. Or it could be, I have this experience of joy and laughter and celebration in my life, but I don't create a lot of space for that. So maybe your intention is about embracing those parts of yourself that can be joyous, that can be playful, that can be energized and inspired by life. So there's those sort of embracing of and letting go intentions as well. Sometimes your intention could be spiritual. So you may want to engage, or you may want to connect with a deeper sense of spirit, or something out there, whatever is your spiritual philosophies or traditions. You might want to be able to connect with your body and listen to your body's intelligence, your intuition. So intention, they're just some of the examples that intention might manifest for you. When you come into a breathwork session, in particular a one-on-one session, we'll sit down and actually unpack your intention a little bit. And often, people come in and they'll just be, I just want to breathe on, what's a really vague breathwork, vague intention. Like there's not a lot of energy to it. So we'll sit there and we'll talk through it. And sometimes through that discussion, we follow this thread, and then we hit this point where there is a reaction. There's some discomfort. There's some movement of energy. It could be emotional energy. You could be feeling heat in your body. So when you pick up on those signals, often that's where the intention waits for you. And you pick that intention and we frame it into a really beautiful, simple sentence. And then we refer to that throughout the breathwork session. One thing to remember is sometimes intentions can be hard, and don't get worried if you get, lost in that intention making process. Sometimes it can take time to establish an intention. That's perfectly normal. But the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more you become aware of intention, the easier it's going to be over time. So definitely stick with it. And if you really want to explore a breathwork session and really explore this technique, then really honoring the intention process can be incredibly valuable. I hope you enjoyed this video about intention. I hope it's helpful. Please leave any comments or reach out if you have any questions. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.